So I got to see Black Widow on Sunday, and I finished watching Loki last night. This is going to be the video that I talk with spoilers, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, don't watch it. Stick around. Welcome back, family. Thank you so much for joining me yet again. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt because I just recorded the last video, one right after the other. And apparently tonight is a vodka night because I'm having Deep Eddy lime flavored vodka. It's a cute little one here. And let's take a little sip of that. And, ooh, that's good. It's got a really strong lime taste to it. It's almost like a limeade. Yeah, the last one I just had was a Smirnoff raspberry, which was like somebody just like sprayed a raspberry essence over it. It barely had a flavor to it. But this one's got a really good flavor to it. So, high recommendations on that one. So, yes, let's talk what I thought about Black Widow and what I thought about Loki. First off, Black Widow. As I said, I rated it at around a 7 to a 7.5. I had some major problems with it. And again, I'm going to give warnings here. There are spoilers in this video. So if you don't want to know about the movie, you still want to see it, and you don't want to hear this stuff, turn this off. Fair warning given. I didn't like the character development. The characters didn't grab me the way that Wanda and Vision and Bucky did, and Sam, even Loki grabbed my heartstrings towards the end there. There was no attachment to it. I thought that they had humor for the sake of humor. It didn't flow naturally to me. I didn't believe that all the way up to where the movie takes place right after, I mean like minutes after the big battle of the airport of Civil War. Okay, so Black Widow, Natasha's on the run, and of course giving everybody the slip because she is who she is, which is cool. But you think of the time frame and the growth of the character and everything, and then she tries to catch up with her sister, and she even says to her sister at one point, "Well, why didn't you look for me?" "Well, I just assumed you got out." This is your sister. Well, even though it wasn't really her sister, it was the made-up family to infiltrate America type of thing. She acted and treated her as a sister, as a child. You had that attachment, and then you know what? She probably got out. I didn't like that. I thought that they were portraying Black Widow as somebody that, or Natasha as somebody that still had that mean streak to her, and I really felt that she was striving for redemption through her whole life. And what better way of redemption than trying to, getting her ledger clear, as she said, and all the way back in 2012 with Avengers. Than to make sure that her sister, that she really truly cared about, was okay. I didn't buy it. I'm sorry. I didn't like at one point that they make Yelena points to 3 holes in the wall and says, "What kind of bullets are those?" And she said, "They're not bullets. They're arrows." Okay, so that signifies the point where Clint came to take her out and made a different call. Are we also saying that Hawkeye missed 3 times? I don't think so. First I'm like, so Hawkeye missed 3 times? What the hell? She had to earn her way into S.H.I.E.L.D. by helping to get Dreykov killed. And the way to make sure that he was there was because his little girl daughter goes walking inside. This is, she was saying that, that's a part of her ledger that is dripping red, that's gushing, as Loki said. And what do we take from that? That she was willing to kill a child? Okay, well, that's the way she was trained, and I can get that a little bit, but is that the way S.H.I.E.L.D. was operating? We want to kill this guy so much, we're going to take out an entire building, including all the people that are there, and a little child at the same time. I'm sorry, if Hawkeye was that good and he was attached to the mission across the street, hey, there he is walking through his car, done. Done. There's, oh, you sure that's him? Okay, so you're helping me, just wave, make him look up at me so I can put one in his eye socket. That's what he wanted to do to Loki, put an arrow in his eye socket. Apparently he's got that kind of ability. I believe it. So why do they have to blow up an entire building? It didn't make me believe that this was something that was part of the MCU continuity. The Taskmaster being Draco's daughter growing up. Really? Really? Okay, so you messed up my daughter, and I care about her so much that I'm going to put the chip in the back of her neck, which I thought they would have to unplug the chip to get her free of the control, but apparently the chip meant nothing. Why even bring it up? There were so many things about it that I was just like, that doesn't make sense. That's stupid. That's not the way that I portray this to, I believe this to be. And overall, it's a good movie. I liked watching it, but it was kind of like, it was almost like watching a Fast and the Furious movie. You're not there for the storyline. Okay, you're not. You're there for the action. You're there to suck up a bucket of popcorn. So I still recommend going to see it in the movie theater. It's still heads and shoulders above Dark World. So anybody that spent money to go see Dark World, you have no excuse not to go spend money on this movie. Besides, let's make sure that we are supporting the MCU. Over $260 million worldwide in the opening weekend. Boom, shakalaka, love it. Okay, on to Loki. Okay, Loki. Is anybody else creeped out about the relationship? And I mean, some people are defending it, saying, well, it's a different person. It was from a different reality. It's still the same person. I mean, if I met a different me from another reality who happened to be a different gender, I would still look at it as me. And I wouldn't kiss myself. I don't know. But by the same token, I loved Loki's growth. I loved Tom Hiddleston's growth in this series. This, the whole time you're wondering, what's his end game? What's he trying to do? In the beginning, he's trying to take over the TVA, and he wants this. He wants the throne. He wants to be acknowledged in greatness and everything else. And he learns what his follies have done. That's, as he said in the end, because you can't trust and I can't be trusted. And I never thought I'd say this. I believe in Loki. Okay? I don't believe that he has some end game. I believe he has had an epiphany, and I loved it. I'm hook, line, and sinker in this thing. I love it. I liked the way that they brought Kang into the series. Yes, if you haven't seen it and you ignored my spoiler reviews, my spoiler warnings, there you go. It's Kang. But he doesn't say the name Kang. Okay? When I first saw it, I'm like, wait. That's Kang. Right? And I had to pause it and go to the Google who was the person who was cast as Kang. And it's the same person. So I'm like, okay. And then he refers to himself as a conqueror. And, I've been called this, I've been called that, I've been called a conqueror. And I'm like, as in Kang the Conqueror. Yes. Now, all these timelines that are branching off into everything. I think that this was his end game in the first place. I think that when he says, I couldn't see beyond this point, I think that he could. Possibly. But who would have thought that it was Sylvie that was going to bring about the multiverse of madness? I mean, that whole timeline just fractured and went nuts. And every timeline fractured and fractured and fractured and fractured. And as he said, there's going to be infinite Kangs vying for control. So it's going to be madness and can you imagine what Doctor Strange is sitting there like, okay, Wanda, what'd you do? Okay, Loki, come on. Maybe I should have left you falling for all that time. It's nuts. But that final episode, I loved it. I love the look on his face, Loki's face at the end. And you could almost see the look on his face like he knew, I did this to myself. All my actions for, 1,500 years. All the things, all the tricks that I've pulled, all the deceptions that I've done have led me to this point where nobody will believe me. And still, he doesn't give up. He doesn't say, okay, well then I'm just destined to be, dog do. I'm destined to be here only for the embetterment of others, so that others can rise to greatness through my failures. He stands up and says, no, I'm going to set this right. I'm going to make sure that Sylvie is okay, that she's happy one way or the other. And he's in love. And you know what? I'm rooting for him. I never thought I'd say this. I'm rooting for Loki. Okay, and when he runs into Morbius and was it B-15 or whatever her moniker is, and they didn't recognize him, I'm like, oh man, the whole thing has swapped. How's he going to convince them? Now, who's looking forward to an end credit scene? Something substantial you could sink your teeth in. Not just a picture of the folder and a stamp and it says, Loki will be back in season 2. Well, no, we knew that already. Pardon me. I shouldn't have said that, but no, whatever. We knew this already. Everybody knew that they've already announced there's going to be a season 2 of Loki. I would have liked something a little bit more substantial that we could, sink our teeth into. Kind of like the end credit of Black Widow. Now that one I liked. Okay? I liked Yelena being there at Natasha's grave. And Natasha's grave, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't it look like the way that you pictured her mom's grave? Man, it was so cold. Like, oh, what was her name? Unknown. And I'm like, oh, man, just pop this guy in the head. Jeez. But the way that he said it's under a flowering tree and it's a beautiful area. And you see Natasha's grave, which there's no body for because she's somewhere up on Vormir, like getting... did they decompose on Vormir? But it's a stone marking her existence. And Yelena's there, and Contessa comes walking up. And I'm like, okay, so Yelena, U.S. agent, who else is she going to be recruiting? I can't wait to see all these things going forward. I would love to see Contessa in No Way Home with Spider-Man. In one of the characters or something like that, to really start to pull those two universes together, that would be awesome. Because by bringing Contessa at the end of Black Widow, it gave true legitimacy to the Disney Plus TV series, because it's weaving them together. And that's one of the things that the MCU can do that the Disney movies never can seem to do, is weave things together and seamlessly. Okay, and I'm sorry, I've always been a Marvel fan. I've never been a DC fan. I'm sorry, it's just the way I read the books when I was young. Some people that grow up in New York, they're like Yankees, Mets. I was always Marvel, DC. But you ask me, what was the greatest comic book movie ever made? Dark Knight. I have to give it to it. It was perfection. I mean, top 3 for me. I'd have to go Dark Knight, Infinity War, and then I have to go Joker. His Phoenix, whatever. Oh God, what the heck was his name? The guy that played Joker. I can't remember. I don't got a brood on it. But his portrayal was, somebody asked me what I thought of it afterwards. I'm like, it's a 2-hour descent into madness. And you actually leave the theater feeling disturbed. You feel less sane than when you went in there. And you can have that kind of... Joaquin Phoenix. Haha. You can have that kind of an effect from a movie. It's great. That kind of an effect from a comic book movie? Yes, I love it. So, anyway, what did you guys think of Black Widow? What did you guys think of Loki? I would love to know. What do you think of the MCU and everything going forward? What did you watch the What If trailer? If you haven't, you've got to. I'm going to put a link for it on the end of this video, just for the fact that I get to put 2 videos up here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put one video here that says to register for the 500 subscriber, and one video here which is a link to watch the What If trailer. 10 episodes of airing next month on Disney Plus, animated of the What If, and man, it looks really, really great. So remember to subscribe, like, share the videos, click on notifications, go to the 500 subscriber, and make sure that you register to win, because when I hit 500 subscribers, Venom Annual #1, signed by Cates and Stegman on a 9.8 white pages, will be going to you if you are the winner. All you have to do is follow the directions. But as always, I'm out.